Welcome in. Jeremy Popielarz here with you as always. Good morning football. Week 2. We are here. We've finished a Thursday night game. We're in the fresh FTN threads over here. In case you didn't know, FTN Fantasy does in fact have a merch store now. You can head on over there and get some of that good stuff. Like I said, pretty sweet shirt. Basic, but good old way to support the FTN crew. Either way, we're here to talk about some week 2 football, some start sit questions. It's a lovely Sunday morning. We're coming off a fresh Bills win. I'm always liking it. We got some injury concerns. CMC hitting the IR here in the past few days. Puka Nacua sounds like he's going to be missing more time than expected. So some of these waiver wires in your likes of Jordan Mason, Tyler Johnson, Demarcus Robinson are all going to probably play some pretty significant roles for us here in the coming weeks. And I'm sure we'll answer some questions today on that. So if you're coming in from the tweet, you can drop your question on the tweet over at X. I'm not 100% sure if the X comments come in here anymore. Every now and then they do. Sometimes they don't. Either way, I'll be checking that thread and going ahead and pulling those questions in here. Won't be pulling them up on the screen. But if you head over to the FTN Fantasy YouTube channel, you can go ahead, drop it in there. I do know that those comments do show up here in StreamYard, and I can pop those up for you and get those answered for you. So without further ado, let's talk some fantasy football start sit questions here. I've had a thread going here for a little bit this morning, so I am going to pull that one up and we'll go from there and we'll start that way moving forward here. So we have Andre at Haramendre. We got Amari Cooper or Terry McLaurin this week. Both quarterback situations are not ideal. 100% agree with you there, Andre. Not looking great there. Two players I did thoroughly enjoy this draft cycle. Terry McLaurin, most was prior to the Dotson trade. I really liked that. I think McLaurin's probably the way I'm going to go here. I think the issue with McLaurin was a little bit more of just, a rookie quarterback not really wanting to throw a ton. He definitely was getting away from that. The coach's voice, they want to go the other direction and get him throwing the football. So hopefully we do see that this week. The Giants are a pretty easy matchup for Jaden Daniels to kind of right that ship. And I'm thinking McLaurin, I'm a little bit higher on him than the FTN consensus. I got him at 25. We have him at wide receiver. Sorry, finding it here. Wide receiver 32 in the consensus. So I'm a little ahead on him. I think today is going to be a pretty decent day for McLaurin. I wouldn't say it's a home run hit by any means, but I'm way, way, way more worried about the actual physical ability of Deshaun Watson getting Amari Cooper the football than I am Jaden Daniels just making the right decision there. Eric Wilk, pick one full PPR. This is from X. Kirk McConkey or Amari Cooper. I'm going to go Christian Kirk in this matchup. I think with the lockdown corners on the edges there for Cleveland, I think it's going to have to kind of funnel inside a little bit there to Christian Kirk there, Eric. So I'm going to go that direction if the Jags want to stay in this game. Let's see. Corey, what is up? Good morning, Corey. We got a PPR league. Need a flex. Amari Cooper, Zach Moss, or Najee Harris. I am going to go ahead and take, let's see here, double check. I lean Zach Moss off the top of my head. Let's double check here. I think he's just ahead of Najee Harris for me. I have Najee Harris a little bit higher. I have Najee at 23. The consensus is 26. Yeah, Moss at 27 for 28. So the issue is with Zach Moss, I think he'll be on the field. Even in the third down situations, I don't think Chase Brown's going to take a ton from him. It's just going to be where's that situation for the Bengals against the Chiefs, and is it positive for Moss to see a pretty big day? I think Najee Harris and the Steelers will have the Broncos pretty well handled. So I'm going to go Najee here, actually. I know I said Moss a little bit, but I'm going to go Najee Harris. I think Harris is probably the play against a weaker Broncos run defense. He should be in store for a pretty good day. I don't think you can go wrong with either Moss or Harris, but I lean Najee Harris there for you, Corey. Arson, Worthy, or Jameson Williams? I'm going to go Worthy just because Jameson's been battling an injury this week. It does look like he is going to play, but I'm going to go with the guy that hasn't been battling the injury with kind of a similar role. I think that this week we see Amon-Ra St. Brown get involved a little bit more. Sam Laporta, they weren't really involved because Jameson was getting the targets. So I don't expect that to continue for Jameson Williams. So there's no better week than week 2 here against Tampa Bay to get Amon-Ra St. Brown back into it and move Jameson back to that kind of 4-target territory. Manny, good morning. J.K. Dobbins or Michael Pittman? I'm going to go Dobbins. I think both are a little bit boom or bust-esque. My worry, too, a little bit with the Colts, like, can Green Bay keep up enough to go ahead and keep feeding Michael Pittman? I think Pittman has a really decent day. I still saw a lot of targets last week. He actually wasn't totally there from Richardson, so I hope maybe that improves a little. But J.K. Dobbins against that Carolina defense, I'm going to ride it. I mean, yeah, the injury has historically done terrible things to running backs, that Achilles injury, but we've seen them come back and have some pretty good weeks in the first coming weeks. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to ride Dobbins while we can. I think that he's the better running back. He showed more explosivity. He plays more of the third downs in that offense, and I'm gonna ride this out while I can. I think Michael Pittman again will be decent, but I think Dobbins has that 20-point upside that we saw last week, where I don't know if Michael Pittman really has that this week, just because I think that the Colts will handle Green Bay pretty easily. Don't do as I do on X. Need 2 half-point PPR: Marvin Harrison, DK Metcalf, Devontae Adams. I'm gonna go Adams and Harrison. I know it wasn't a good week 1 for Marvin Harrison, but this is a good spot. I think the Colts or the Cardinals could upset the Rams a little bit. And if that's going to be the case, it's probably going to be at the help of Marvin Harrison. So I'm going to go with Devontae Adams, who I think is going to see a good amount of target share there in that Baltimore game as the Raiders play from behind. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the shot one more week there on Marvin Harrison. Maybe it's a fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me situation with Marvin Harrison. But I'm going to give him one more shot. I'm not ready to throw him just to the curb yet. RM74 on X. We got Cooper Kupp or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who scores higher this week? I'm going to say Cooper Kupp. I think they're close, but I have Cooper Kupp ranked higher there. Struggling at tight end for Zahika. On X, we have Schultz or Hayden Hurst. I'm going to go Hurst here. I think that this is a good spot for the Chargers tight end. He saw a decent amount of usage. You're really hoping for either one of these to score a touchdown. I think Hurst has more of that chance than Dalton Schultz. The Texans kind of showed us they prefer Stephon Diggs in that red zone, at least last week. Speaking of Diggs, Christopher Rodriguez here on YouTube. Charbonnet or Diggs this week? Who is the flex? I'm going to go Diggs. The Patriots' run defense is decent. So Charbonnet may be okay. He's going to get the volume without Walker, but they definitely could roll a couple of the other guys in behind him. So I'm going to go with Diggs. I think that that game could be a little bit more high scoring. I think he's a little bit of their favorite in the red zone. Coming out of the slot there, we saw it last week with the 2 touchdowns. He didn't have a ton of target volume, but the touchdowns are nice, and I am going to go with Diggs there over Charbonnet. Camille here on YouTube, pick 2 for flex spots: Ridley, Warren, McConkey, Robinson, Tank, Bigsby. I'm holding off on Tank. Cleveland should have a decent run defense in this game. I don't love Tank or Travis Etienne personally. I think Etienne obviously is startable, but Tank Bigsby, I'm going to hold off this week still. Ridley, I'm holding off as well. Wasn't the best week from Will Levis last week, and it's a good Bears defense, but the Jets' pass defense is even better. So I'm going to hold off a little bit there on Ridley as well. So you're kind of down between Warren, McConkey, and Robinson. Oh, bless me. So I'm probably going to go DeMarcus Robinson. I think that he's going to have a decent opportunity here. Like I said, I think the Rams and Cardinals game's close. Vegas says the same with the spread being 1 point. So I'm going to go with Robinson. I think that could be a shootout like we've seen in the past as one of them. My second would probably be McConkey. I don't really love Jaylen Warren yet. I think there's still some side effects from the injury in the offseason, as well as it's Justin Fields under center. They're not giving him as many dump offs and work. So that split touch role is not the best when he's not getting peppered with targets, in my opinion. So I'm going to go McConkey and Robinson. McConkey had a pretty good showing last week. Definitely more involved than I thought. Palmer's nursing an injury as well, so I'll go McConkey and Robinson. Reset season. Should I worry about Etienne and Olave? Well, I kind of just mentioned I'm a little worried about Travis Etienne. Not enough to not start Travis Etienne. I mean, he's still like a teens running back for me. Obviously has that high upside, potentially scored 2 touchdowns last week. So we could still see that in the red zone. It seems like they're still going to Travis Etienne a little bit. I don't know if that changes this week. Chris Olave, yeah. I mean, yes and no. Chris Olave has always been a guy that I've never been a fan of. I think he's a good player. I think he does well in his role. But for fantasy, I'm just not a huge fan, just because I don't know if he's much more than a low-end wide receiver 2 with some mid-range wide receiver 2 upside. I think he could get that this week. I have him in the 20s, low 20s. So I don't know if you're totally going to be worried. Obviously, they can lay goose eggs. We saw it. But I think Etienne's a little bit less worrisome than Olave. I don't know who else you would have to pivot to here reset season. If you want to toss somebody in there in that Olave category, I don't know who your receivers are or flex situation. I could let you know if I prefer either of them at the moment. Navai, what is up? Good morning. Kirk Cousins or Herbert in Superflex. Ooh. Yeah. I'm gonna go Herbert. I'm worried about Kirk Cousins. I think that the Falcons are also worried. Maybe they were when they took Michael Penix as well. I definitely think there's a shot Michael Penix plays sooner than later here in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins looked like he's struggling. Much like we said in the offseason, like everybody was anointing Drake London as this elite option. And it's kind of like, well, we still got to get like someone to throw him the football. And Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles injury, scary. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Herbert here and ride that out. I don't think either of these are a great option, personally. But I'll go Herbert. I think there's a little bit more upside. What's up, Sean? The shorts. Hey, the shorts over at FTN are pretty solid. We got a good crew over at FTN. So the Patriots will win tonight. Ooh, should I flip it? I put in a massive parlay for every single team I think is going to win this week. The Patriots were not one of them. So maybe I should switch that since Sean's telling me they're going to win. And maybe they will. I mean, they beat the Bengals. They helped me in like every survivor pool I'm in. Taking out the Bengals as well as half of every single pool. So that was cool. Sean, I trust you. Let's see here. Oh, you got a question too. We'll hit that first. We'll go back to Adams here in a second. Kirk, Kittle, or D-Hop? I'm going to go Kirk. Don't love any of them, truthfully. Neither does FTN. I'm a little bit higher on D-Hop than the rest of the crew, but still not in a spot that I'm really looking to start him. I've got him at 49, and we're at consensus of 68 on D-Hop, so not loving it. I'd probably go Christian Kirk there. Kittle could be a decent option. If it's tight end premium, maybe Kittle, just because you get a little bit of that bonus, but Christian Kirk, I think, could have a decent day today. Adam, Olave or Tank Dell? I'd go Dell here. This is close, and I don't have Dell ranked higher than Olave. Let's be honest. But I have Tank Dell at 33, and I have Olave at 22. So it's a gap, but I am worried about Olave against this defense, more so like Derek Carr against this defense. So I'm fine if you want to swing it with Tank Dell. Tank Dell saw decent usage last week, and it could be in store for it again. If the Bears wake up, you got Jalen Johnson likely locking down Nico Collins. Dell's probably the way that the Texans move the ball, as well as Diggs. So I'm okay going Dell here, Adam, if you want to risk it, for sure. Tank Dell, Brandon Cooks, or Shaheed for second wide receiver spot for Kelsey. Tank Dell. I think that Dell's in a decent spot. Like I said, Cooks could be decent, but again, he's not. I think they see a lot of CD Lamb here. I know Ferguson's going to be out, but I'm going to go Tank Dell. I think that he could have a decent day. Shaheed is just too inconsistent. He's in a good spot though too, a little bit better than Olave as the second receiver for the Saints against the Cowboys. But I think Tank Dell's the sneakier, not necessarily sneaky, but a little bit of the better play, a little bit more baseline safety built into Tank Dell with equal upside as of those three. NPT 21, Christian Watson or Alec Pierce or Amari Cooper. I'm going Cooper. I do not want to deal with any of the Packers receivers until we see it from Malik Willis, because like the last time we saw Malik Willis in an actual NFL game that counted, it was scary. And now that wasn't the Packers, but still scary. So I'm not trusting Christian Watson today. Alec Pierce was a very low target volume, high efficiency day, so I'm not trusting that either. I'm going to go with Amari Cooper. Still saw enough targets, just barely dropped a long touchdown from Watson last week. So I'll go Amari Cooper here out of this group. Just a little bit safer play. Henry Garrard, start DK, Marvin Harrison, or Amari. I'd go Harrison. I know it was a dud, and again, I talked about it a little bit earlier. I don't know if you were in here, Henry, or not. Fool me once, fool me twice. Shame on me. But I do think that I'm going to give Harrison one more week here in what should be a little bit of a close nail biter there in Arizona and the Rams. So I'm going to go with Marvin Harrison for you there. Seth Jacobs or Madison or Mason in half PPR league, and then Mason Adams or Garrett Wilson in full PPR. Mason for both. No CMC. I mean, he's going to get fed. And Minnesota's defense is not great. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Jordan Mason here. We saw what he did to a really good Jets defense. I expect much of the same here from Jordan Mason in week 2 as well. Although Jacobs is a nice start, I will say that. As well as Garrett Wilson. So Mason and Wilson are close in the other one, but I'm going with Mason. I have him as top 5 running back this week. So I'm pretty sure you're going to see 19 to 20 points from Jordan Mason, 1 to 2 touchdowns. It's too safe to not go with that. We got Infamous 440 on X. We've got Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. I'm going to go Trevor. It's really close. But I still like Trevor Lawrence a little bit. Just by one spot. They're basically the same player for me. 12th man bleeds Geno or Darnold. I'll go Geno in this situation here. Kevin Wheeler on X, need to start. Rashee Rice, Godwin, or JMO. That's going to be Rice and Godwin. That was a miss last week. Godwin, yeah. Should have seen that one coming. Let's see here. Making Souls on YouTube. We got Calvin Ridley, Palmer, DeMarcus Robinson. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to go DeMarcus Robinson here. Ridley against the Jets. Don't love it, especially with Will Levis at the helm. And then Josh Palmer is battling an injury. It's probably going to be a game that the Chargers can just run all over Carolina. So I'm going to go with DeMarcus Robinson. What should be a closer game? Close games, whether they're good or bad teams, tend to create more fantasy points for us. So I'm going to go with Robinson. Charbonnet with Walker out or Zach Moss, standard league. Charbonnet. I like this one. Earlier I mentioned, we talked about it. Someone else had a Charbonnet question. The Patriots defense is good. Above average, maybe. Yeah, above average, we'll call them. Against the run. But Zach Moss, I think the game's a little out of hand, and whether Moss is on the field or not, I don't know how much he's going to see target volume from Joe Burrow. So I'm going to go Charbonnet. I think that the Seahawks can handle that pretty well, and they should be able to give Charbonnet some run in the second half. Sean, you are welcome. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for telling us you love the shorts. It's great. Unless you're talking about the shorts I'm wearing. I don't know. I think you're talking about the YouTube shorts. But Ricky, what is up? Good morning. Najee or Worthy in the flex spot? Here's the thing. Xavier Worthy has the highest upside. 100% here. We're not going to argue that situation at all. The issue is that he could also just give you 0. So If you want to swing for the fences, Worthy's probably your play here. But if it was me, I'm probably going to go Najee Harris in this situation. I think that Pittsburgh should be able to run the ball pretty well on Denver. They haven't gotten that much better than they were last year. We saw Seattle and Ken Walker get some good run on them last week. And I do think that we can see that from Najee Harris this week. So I'm going to go with Najee Harris there, just a little safer. Now, Worthy could blow up for 3 touchdowns on 4 targets this week. I mean, it could happen. But I think that Rice is obviously still their main guy. Worthy's going to, I don't think you see much more volume than what we saw last week. So I'm going to go with Najee Harris. Reset season. Okay, we're back to Olave. So other receivers are Watson, Higgins, Odunze, and Mitchell. So forced to go Olave this week. Yeah, I would stay with Olave in that situation. Yeah, Odunze might miss. I think he actually rolled out already. But Mitchell, yeah, man. I mean, I'm thinking Mitchell's AD Mitchell. It's interesting, risky. But yeah, I'd probably just stay with Olave there, reset season. Ricky, Ayuk, Flowers, or Reed start 2. Ayuk and Flowers. I am avoiding the Packers at all costs, and I can do that in this situation. Ayuk, I think, should have a little bit better day than he did last week. Flowers still saw enough targets, whether they were kind of engineered touches or not. I still like enough for Flowers here in what should be a decent game for the Ravens. Simon, I did not see. Did I see your question? Oh, I don't know what happened there. My apologies, Simon. It was a little blue and it's got some weird thing. I don't know what's going on with it. Pick 2, Kittle, Neighbors, Worthy, Godwin. So I apologize, Simon. Was not against you. It didn't look normal. So we've got Kittle, Neighbors, Worthy, or Godwin. I am going to go Godwin for sure here, Simon. I think that that's a little bit of a shootout there in Detroit today. And then the others is kind of a pick your poison. I kind of like Malik Neighbors a little bit. I don't think he has huge upside because it's Daniel Jones, but the Washington secondary is trash, for lack of a better word. So we're going to go Malik Neighbors and Chris Godwin here. I think the high upside in both of those players. Worthy has it, but again, we didn't see a lot of volume from Xavier Worthy, so I don't want to bank on those touchdowns being consistent. Now it is the Chiefs, but I'm not going to bank on him scoring 2 touchdowns on 3 touches again. So I'm going to go with Malik Neighbors and Chris Godwin. Both saw good volume and both should be solid. Ricky, we already got that one for you. So LA Bleeds Blue need 1 for flex. JSN, Jerry Judy, or Romo Dunze. It's between JSN and Judy for me here, LA. I would go. I'm gonna go Judy. We saw him score the touchdown last week, but still had decent target volume as well. And the Browns threw a lot. They were obviously from behind, but I think this game's close. I think Cleveland and Jacksonville will be a tight game, but the Jags' run defense is pretty good, which may force Cleveland to throw more. So I'm going to go with Jerry Judy here for you. Seth, in a league, I have Jacobs and Mason. I also have Bijan and Cooks. Should I deal Jacobs to get McCaffrey from my brother-in-law? Ooh, Seth. Seth, do you mean James Cook? If you're still watching, Seth, hopefully you are, because I'm answering your question. Do you mean James Cook? Because if you mean James Cook, I don't mind that. McCaffrey will be back probably in the tail half of your season, and then being able to roll out Bijan, McCaffrey, and James Cook would be, yeah, you mean Cook. Okay. No problem. It happened. It's the only reason I knew that to an extent is it happens all the time, Seth. Everybody always calls them Cooks. But I would probably do it. If they'll do it, I would. Like Jacobs is solid, but he's not Christian McCaffrey. we saw what Jordan Mason did, and we've seen what McCaffrey can do behind this offensive line and in this system here in San Francisco. So for me, I would do that because you're going to be fine with Bijan. You're going to be fine with Mason until McCaffrey's back and Cooks. Like you probably start 2 running backs. So yeah, I would do that deal for you. We've got not Irwin Fletcher. Likely no Kenneth Walker. Yeah, he ain't playing. And Keenan Allen. Can I stomach starting Javonte and Sutton together or drop D-Hop for Dotson or Mooney on Monday night? You're going to have to stomach Javonte and Sutton. D-Hop, I guess I don't hate dropping him. He's just kind of useless in that offense as well at the moment. But I'd probably hold Hopkins. I think Hopkins can maybe bounce back. Like Dotson, it's not happening. As much as I loved Jahan Dotson prior to the season in this Philadelphia offense. Now, A.J. Brown has missed some practices. So maybe Dotson's a little more involved. But I don't want to bank on that. And Darnell Mooney either, because Kirk Cousins just looked really bad. So I don't know if that gets much better against the Eagles. So I would probably just roll Javonte and Sutton. Give Javonte another chance. I know Pittsburgh's a tough matchup, but I think we may be okay-ish here. I'm not saying that they're going to help you a ton this week, but long-term, I still think D-Hop, Sutton, Javonte is a better option than dropping one of them to go ahead and grab Dotson or Mooney long term. Remember, it's only week 2. All right, we got some time here. So roll out Javonte, Sutton. Maybe one has a big game and kind of makes up for the Walker and Allen missed time. Standard scoring, tough matchup, Aaron Jones or Gus Edwards. Who, Jake? That's a tough one. I have Aaron Jones ranked significantly higher in like the half PPR formats. I do think Gus could maybe find the end zone this week, but I don't think he gets like double-digit points even with that. So if he does, it's going to be like 10 or 11. So I'm probably going Aaron Jones. Yeah. We saw kind of Brees have a pretty good day against this 49er defense. We also know the pass rush is pretty good, and I think Darnold's going to have to get rid of the ball quicker than later, and I think Jones will be used in that aspect. Now, it is standards. You're not getting the PPR points, but you'll get the yardage he produces off it, and Jones looked good last week, so I'm going to go Aaron Jones there for you. Rashad White or Devontae Adams. I'm going to go Rashad White here. It's close. I think that both actually see like pretty good target volume. So Rashad White's still kind of the red zone guy there for Tampa Bay, despite Bucky Irving getting involved a little bit more. I think that Rashad White finds the end zone. Devontae Adams, I like him this week, but I don't know if he finds the end zone. I'm hoping he does. It's a weaker secondary there in Baltimore, but it's going to be getting the ball to him. So I'm probably going to go Rashad White. Neighbors or Jacobs. I'm going to go Jacobs here, Justin. Yeah, I like Jacobs. I think he's going to have a pretty good volume here. I think Jacobs and Lloyd are going to be interesting how they get deployed with Malik Willis behind center here. So I'm going to go with Jacobs. You've also got Dak or Jaden Daniels. I'm going Jaden Daniels. Rushing upside still too good. And if he does kind of right the ship as a passer, that'll be even better. I'll go Terry as well here, Justin, especially if it's on the same roster. Kind of stack that Daniels and Terry play here. Crazy that just picking up a backup can produce. Yeah, truthfully, that's a handcuff mentality that a lot of people speak of. And that's why some of it, just like handcuffing some of these higher guys, like your brother-in-law. Had he taken Mason late in the draft as opposed to Jalen Hyatt or some of these 4th or 5th receiver options, like he'd be fine. He could just bench McCaffrey, ride out Mason. When McCaffrey comes back, just plug Mason or McCaffrey back in, and there you go. So it's definitely a strategy that can help for sure. Should I be comfortable playing George Pickens or wait until Monday and hope A.J. Brown plays? All right, Quacky. Here's the situation. I said McCaffrey was going to play last week because he told us he was going to play, and then he didn't, and now he's on IR. So in not making that mistake again this week, I'm probably just going to roll out Pickens. AJ Brown missed practice the last few weeks and kind of been struggling with few days, and has been struggling with that injury. So for me, I'm probably going to roll out Pickens. Uh, Brown would be the better play, 100% if he plays, but that's the issue. Let me actually, Quacky, give me 5 seconds here. Let me see. I don't think anything else has come out on that. Double check for you before I. I mean, your option 2 would be. You could also pick somebody else up. But yeah, it doesn't seem like he's going to play. That's my guess. So I'm going to go George Pickens there for you, Quacky. Justin, should I drop Spears or for Brooks for my running back 3? If you have an IR spot, Justin, sure. Drop Spears, grab Jonathan Brooks, and then add another running back. But not right now. Brooks isn't going to be here for a bit. So I'd hold on to Tajay Spears. We could still see a split in that backfield. Don't call it not just yet. MCAK on X, Walker out, Charbonnet or ETN. Still going ETN there. It's closer, but still going ETN. We've got Benji 27 morning. Who would you start? Quarterback, Burrow at KC or Herbert at Carolina? I'm going to go Burrow just for the upside. That could be a little bit of a shootout there, Benji. We've got Pacheco or Worthy for the flex spot for Tom. That's going to be Pacheco. That is also on X. We've got RK, Jaden Reed or Demarcus Robinson. I'm going to go Robinson. Reed of any of them is the safest Green Bay receiver if you're watching and have any concern with that. But if you can, I'm definitely avoiding the Green Bay receivers. You're welcome, Jake. Tootsie Pop, what is up, Rachel? Good morning. For SFB, oh boy, creates a lot of extra wrinkles in there. Demarcus Robinson, Demario Douglas, Dalton Schultz, Jalen McMillan, Darius Slayton, Tucker Kraft. So it'd be between Robinson and McMillan still for me. I'd probably go Robinson based on target volume. So yeah, I'm gonna go Demarcus Robinson there, Rachel. Sandraless Vodka, Ford, Ayuk, Lazard, or Montgomery for flex. Montgomery or Ayuk, between those two, but Montgomery to me. He's a shoo-in for a rushing touchdown today. This is going to be a shootout. Detroit and Tampa watching out. It's going to be like 10-3. But I do think it's a shootout, and I think Montgomery finds the end zone. Still heavily used. Gibbs and Montgomery, that rotation, that Lions run game is just too good. I think they'll be able to move the ball against Tampa that direction as well. Lazard, I ain't baking on 2 touchdowns again. Ayuk, give it maybe another week. And Ford, Jacksonville's run defense is pretty stout, so I'm going to skip out on Ford in that run game in Cleveland. So I'll go Montgomery there for you. Sandra. Making Souls, Hurts or Richardson. It's close. But no AJ Brown makes me go Richardson. I'll go Richardson there. I think that we'll see some rushing touchdowns and some passing touchdowns, and the Colts womping up on the Green Bay Packers this week. Image interpreter, Jerome Ford, JSN, J.K. Dobbins in my flex. That's going to be Dobbins. Let's ride it. You know what I mean? Got J.K. Dobbins over the shoulder over here. Was really in on him coming out of the draft. Unfortunate injuries have kind of derailed that, but we're getting some excitement now. It's a rough Carolina defense, so I'm going to ride J.K. Dobbins out while I can. Jim Caffrey on X, Brian Robinson, Chris Olave, or Tank Dell. I'm going to go Brian Robinson. I think that Washington can run the ball on the Giants here. I think Robinson finds the end zone. I think he gets some target work as well. And I'm not the biggest Olave fan. Standard league, Kyler Murray or Jaden Daniels. I'd go Murray here. Equal-ish rushing upside. Murray's going to be in a close game there. Matching winning star, Ken Walker's out. Start Zeke, Ridley, or Zamir White. Eek. That's what I got to say. I'm going to go Zeke there. Yeah, I'm going Zeke. Madison's too comfortably involved in that Rashad White rotation for me in a game that they're going to be playing from behind again this week. We got Taylor, 10-team Dynasty League, large rosters is my options to go with. I'm confused a bit here. Must be for the second running back. I'll go Jalen Warren there. It's either Jalen Warren or Chuba Hubbard. So I'll go Jalen Warren for that, the Thirsty Walrus. We got Brandy on X, Montgomery or Ford, Dak or Goff. I'm going to go Monty and Dak. Okay, doesn't let me answer. Let's see here. Patrick Hume, sit one. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, or Jordan Mason. Ooh, that's rough. Jacobs. Yeah. Jacobs, Patrick. It's between Jacobs and Connor. But I lean Josh Jacobs just by a little bit. Justin, would you drop Watson for any of the following? Myers, Palmer, Johnson? No. I wouldn't. Myers is a little interesting, but I think Watson will be fine once Jordan Love comes back. He's going to have some upside. The issue is this week with Malik Willis, it just isn't going to be a thing for you there with Deshaun or with Christian Watson. Baker or Dak for Jacob? I'm going to go Dak. Still have him ranked a touch higher than Baker. I do have Baker pretty high this week. Yeah, I got Dak at 10, Baker at 11, Goff at 12. So we're in a row here. So you're splitting hairs. If you believe a little bit more in Baker, go with it. But I still have Dak just a point, literally probably like a point ahead of Baker. So I'm going to go with Dak there. Howard Thompson, pick 3, Garrett Wilson, Olave, McLaurin, or Williams. Assuming it's Jameson. It's a standard league I see with the comment below. So I'm going to go Wilson, McLaurin, and Olave for me there, Howard. You also got Montgomery, Aaron Jones, Taylor, or Mason. Pick 2. Taylor and Mason. If that's Jonathan Taylor, I'm assuming. I'm going to go Taylor and Mason there. Montgomery's interesting. So is Jonathan. I mean, that's a good wish I had that running back room. I would start all of them if I could, but Taylor and Mason would be my go-to there for you. You're welcome. Welcome. Sandra, Stafford or Fields, likely or Andrews? Who likely or Andrews question is hit the market. I still believe in Mark Andrews. I think that there's still going to be some viability there. I do have Andrews 2 spots ahead of likely. I think both could have good days. I could see the Ravens wanting to be like, see, look, Mark Andrews still exists and feed him the ball a little bit more, because now the teams are going to have to account for likely, which the Chiefs were not planning on doing, as we saw. So I'm going to go ahead and go Andrews there. And then I will go Fields over Stafford for you. We've got Diggs or Charbonnet in the flex this week for Mid Valley DIY. I would go Diggs. Touchdown upsides there for him. We got the OC thoughts on starting lineup. These are a little hard questions, but we got Fields, Barkley, Gibbs, Flowers, McBride, Samuel. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. You are welcome, Sandra. I appreciate you stopping by. Standard League, Murray or Daniels for Brad. I may have already answered this, but it's Murray for me there. Sit one. That's Patrick's. I answered you there, but I'm going to double answer you here. Bum bum. Melanie Arnold. We got Burrow or Stafford. I'll go Burrow. The Rams are missing a lot of pieces, especially on the offensive line. So I'll go Burrow. Although the Bengals offensive line didn't look much better than the Rams did, so it could be scary. But I'll go with Burrow there. DK or wait for AJ Brown and pivot to Ray Clay. No, go DK. I mean, if AJ plays, I mean, I want him, but Robert, you got to go DK. We can't play this game. I did the same thing last week, and I thought that the McCaffrey's going to play, and that didn't turn out. Let's see here. Brandy, Ford or Montgomery, Dak or Goff, Monty and Dak. Oh, Youngway Ho or Cameron Dicker. I'm going to go Koo there. I think we have some more field goal attempts from the Falcons than we will the Chargers. Flowers or Dobbins for Phil. That's going to be Dobbins. Although I do like Zay Flowers this week, but I do lean JK Dobbins. Zach Page, Rasheed Rice, or James Conner. That's Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice is going to have a big day. Told you to start him last week, too, if you were following me. All in on that Rasheed Rice train. Trent, what's up, Trent? Who to flex? James Conner or Charbonnet with Ken Walker out? I'm still going James Conner. I think it's a good game for Arizona against the Rams, so I'll take Conner. True workhorse. Charbonnet may still get some supplemented touches somewhere in there. Okay. Markin Souls, Brandon Cooks, or Demarcus Robinson. I am worried. Like I said, the Rams offensive line is missing some pieces, but I still think Stafford will get the ball out enough. So I'm probably going Demarcus Robinson here for you instead of Brandon Cooks, just on pure volume. Stafford could get the ball out pretty simple. We got Melanie here, Stafford and Burrow. I'm going to go Burrow. Give him a week. Give him another shot here. I think Jamar Chase could have a big day. Get the ball out of his hands. Let Chase do some work. Chris Wicks, PPR need one. Najee Harris, Spears, or Moss. Najee Harris for you, Chris. Had a question very similar earlier today. I was in between Harris and Moss because I could see Moss having a decent day, but I'm going to go with Najee Harris. I think that he has a decent day. Should be able to run against this Broncos defense. Let's see here. Keep AJ Brown for Brandy. Keep AJ Brown as flex. Switch out to Goddard if he doesn't play. That's not bad. But bench. They had asked Ford or Monty. So we'll see here, Brandy. If you have to play Ford, I don't know if I'm doing that. I may go with that switch to Goddard, but we'll see. Yes, we'll see what they come back with there. Let's see here. These should be coming out soon, I think. Bum, bum. Ooh, they are. Okay, so we have an inactives list. We should be checking that. Whoa. Josh Downs is inactive. Interesting. So it looks like the Cowboys will be missing Jake Ferguson. Looks like he is inactive for sure. No surprise, David Njoku out for the Browns. No one surprising on the Lions. Definitely thought Josh Downs was going to play. Interesting. Chargers, Kamani Vidal, inactive again. I thought he was going to take the job. Ooh, Dylan Loeb, inactive for the Raiders. It's a little deeper play, but surprising. Jordan Addison, no surprise there for the Vikings. No surprises for the Patriots. Saints aren't going to have Lattimore. That's a big deal there. Should allow some good passing for Dallas. Let's see here. Giants, nothing crazy. Jets, nothing crazy. DJ Reed, it opens it up a little bit in the secondary. Still not too crazy there. Seahawks, Walker is out for sure. Kind of expected that. George Fant, though, is going to miss. That's a big deal. Part of the reason I'm not sold on Zach Charbonnet. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing else that's overly crazy. I have to take Josh Downs out of my rankings. So, bench. Which of the following start three of these: Jameson, Williams, Pittman, Pickens, or London? I'm probably gonna go Pittman, Pickens, London. I don't love Drake London. So if you wanted to play Jameson over London, I don't mind that. Chris, probably going to start London, though, just because more volume would be my play there. But like I said, Williams isn't bad. I just don't expect the volume that he had last week to continue. I think they get Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and everybody back involved a little bit more this week. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. Alrighty, looks like we're slowing down a bit here. Let's see here. We got Brandon. Would you go DJ if Rome and Keenan are both out? Sounds like Keenan will miss, but it doesn't say what play. Would you still go Godwin over Moore? We got vibes. Chris Godwin or Jamison Williams, also defensive start the Seahawks, or go with my gut and choose who's playing the Giants. I'd go Godwin over Williams for sure. And then the Seahawks. That's up to you. I mean, I could see the Giants having a good day. I could. I mean, that could be it's going to go one of two ways. It's going to be like 3-3, or it's going to be like 30-30. Both not the best defenses, both not the best offenses. So I lean Seahawks still. But I could see going the Giants. Maybe trust your gut. Gut's always right. It seems like it. So maybe go with it. Go with the Giants. But Godwin over Williams for sure there. Vibes OTHC. Let's see here. You're welcome, sir. Chris Wicks, Pickens or Flowers, been going back and forth. It is close. I'm gonna go Flowers in this situation. I think there's volume there. Pickens, I do like him still. I think he's gonna have plenty of volume. I think Fields will try to get him the ball, but he does have to go up against Patrick Surtain, so not overly loving that for him. So yeah, I'll go Flowers. What's probably a little bit easier matchup and a similar type of value. DJ Moore or Ramondre Stevenson. I'd go DJ Moore there. It's close, but I'd go DJ Moore for Jonathan on X. Let's see here. Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers for Michael Yodler on X. I will go Flowers there. Evan Ingram or Isaiah Likely. I'm going to go Ingram there. For I like Turtles. PPR, Ty Chandler or Tank Bigsby. I'll go. Oof. I'll go Bigsby there. Maybe. Maybe. It's not pretty. They said it, not me. Let's see here. Taysom Hill or Dalton Schultz. I'll go Hill. Also, not pretty. Let's see here. OTHC. What do you got here? Likely or Andrews? I had a question earlier. I'm gonna go Andrews. It's close. Flip a coin. I think that the Ravens try to get Andrews involved a little bit more this week, so I'm gonna go with Andrews being a touch ahead of Isaiah Likely this week. This is a common question, Polsky. KR or AR? I am going Kyler there, and Pitts or Likely would be Pitts for me, but it's very close. But Kyler and Pitts would be my two calls there. Can't guarantee they're going to be right, but I lean there. We've got Popecorn, Aaron Jones, or Jerome Ford. I'm going to go Aaron Jones. Two tough matchups, but I like Aaron Jones a bit more. Where did my stuff go? I am missing a screen. Oh, there it is. Let's see here. We've got Megan Moore swap out for Pittman or Jacobs. So we've got Mason Robinson. No. Flowers. Oh, okay. So we got Flower. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So we got Moss, Shaheed, Thomas, Williams, Worthy. Megan, the answer is no. I like what you got. Oh, allergies are just all up in this joint. Chris Cooper Wicks. Oh my God, Wicks. What am I reading? Chris, your last name got me. Cooper Cooks or JSN PPR League. I'd go Amari Cooper. It's close. Not really. Cooper's pretty far ahead for me, and then Cooks and JSN are kind of like a coin flip. But I'm going to go Amari Cooper. If Amari Cooper catches a touchdown pass last week, I don't think we'd have that same conversation. So I think that it's Amari Cooper still. Alrighty. Oh, let's see here. Double check, make sure I didn't miss any questions here. Oh, no. See if any other inactives came out. Nothing important there. Nothing important there. Harrison, Pickens, or Flowers, Chris? Harrison and Flowers. Yeah. Yep. Harrison and Flowers. Final answer. It's going to be the final. Let's see here. What is going on here? See? Great. The minds think alike, Chris. Sometimes that's all we need. Ultimately, you guys are making the decision. You're plugging that player in there. But even like the best of the managers in the world, even the best NFL GMs and managers, sometimes you just need a little confirmation. And I am here for that. If that's all you need, stop in. I'll give you some confirmations. And that usually works out better. If we both agree, it's better. Let's see here. Let's see any more questions on X. Start asking you guys my questions. That's what I got to do. I can only imagine when I go and look at my lineups what we're going to have here. We got Drew, Marvin Harrison Jr. or Charbonnet. I'm risking it with Marvin Harrison Jr. One more week. Give me one more week. Why is it telling me I have 11 updates? Let's see here. We got popcorn between Moss and Pollard. Who would you start? I'm going to go Pollard. Jawad Riff. Ooh, Deontay Johnson or Brian Thomas Jr. As much as I'm not a huge Brian Thomas Jr. guy, man, I don't know. I'm going to go DJ. I lied. Sorry. I'll go Deontay Johnson. Give Bryce another shot. Why not, right? Let's not throw him to the curve just yet. Anonymous. Pick one in place of AJ Brown. Dubes, Polk, Javante. Ooh. Yeah. Don't play Dubes. I do not want to do anything with that Green Bay offense other than Josh Jacobs. So, man, I don't really want to play Mooney. I mean, Brown could still play. He's not ruled out. Just doesn't seem like he's going to play. So if we don't hear anything in the next hour, I would probably plug in Javante. If something comes out that makes it seem like he may play tomorrow, you could risk it. I mean, Javante to Mooney isn't a huge fall off, but if Javante finds the end zone, it could be huge. So I'm going to go with Javante. I know it's not the easiest matchup against Pittsburgh, and he wasn't the greatest last week. But of this group, I think he's the most probable to have the most fantasy points outside of obviously AJ Brown if he does go. Clinton, Baker, or Purdy? Baker. I think it's a back and forth game in that game. I have Baker. I think Baker's 10, Purdy's like 13. They're like the same player this week. But I think Baker has a better chance of it being a closer game and more of a shootout, which could lead to him having more points than I projected him for this week. We got Infamous 440 on X, Montgomery or Charbonnet. It's Monty for me. I mean, you got to roll both those Lions running backs. They're just powerhouse run team. Charbonnet, yeah, he's got the volume, but the Patriots run defense is no joke. So I wouldn't necessarily love Charbonnet. They also are missing Fant, and I believe a couple other linemen as well this week. But Fant's the big one there for me in that run game. So I'm going to avoid that for now. I'll go with Montgomery, who has a healthy offensive line and obviously a pretty secure role in what should be a decent shootout type role. We've got Fantasy Football 32, Rashad White or Devin Singletary. That's going to be Rashad White. For me, we've got best running back to start for Hendricks, Stevenson or Kamara against the Cowboys. That's Kamara. We've got Bedward Drippin, Amari Cooper or Michael Pittman. I'll go Pittman there. Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield for 11 BZD. I'll go Dak there. MW3, Terry McLaurin or Tyler Johnson. I'm going to go Terry. There. Oh, is Jameson inactive? He is not listed on their inactives. You sure he's inactive? You sure? Let me see. Let me find some. Let me check here. Let's check the Twitter machine. RotoWire's telling me he's active here. I haven't really been telling anybody to play him either way, but yeah, Jamison Williams is playing. It's Isaiah Williams that's inactive, FYI, not Jameson. Oh, you good? No worries. It's all fine. I get it. Isaiah Williams was good. Terrible that he's inactive because I loved Isaiah Williams at Illinois. Good player. But still concerned about Jameson because you bring that up that he was battling an injury. So that's why I've kind of pushed away from Jameson a little, depending on who you're playing. Jawad Reef, Eckler, or Chuba Hubbard. I'm gonna go Eckler. I'm not ready to throw Hubbard to the side just yet. This isn't a bad matchup for him, but I'm gonna go with Eckler there. Tiana is Najee Harris or Xavier Worthy. I'm gonna go Harris there. Oh, did they say AJ Brown's out? What? Where are these people seeing these things? So they're saying Rashid Shaheed or Lazard. I'd go Shaheed. Let me double check because this person is telling me AJ Brown is also out. Correct. AJ Brown is out. Yeah, peeps love me some Malin Lazard. Evan Ingram is out today. What? What? Where did we see that? I don't think Evan Ingram is out. Where are you people pulling up these information? AJ Brown is out for sure. So anybody who asked, should I or should I not, definitely don't play AJ Brown. He is out. Howard coming in with the drop. It is true. Evan Ingram hurt himself in warmups. He is not playing. Well, anybody, if you're still watching, who I told Evan Ingram, he ain't playing. So if you'd like to spin back through, we can readdress those situations. But yeah, Evan Ingram being out is a no bueno. Good call, Howard. AJ Brown, we can remove from here. Evan Ingram is a goner. Anybody else surprisingly hurt themselves in warmups on us? Jaden Reed, Michael Wilson, or McMillan? It's tricky, Clinton. Here's the issue: Michael Wilson and Jalen McMillan have like no volume. Jaden Reed's gonna get involved for sure. The issue is how good are the Packers going to be this week, which I don't think is very good. So I'm gonna go McMillan on like just a hunch, but you're talking like less volume than anybody else that I just mentioned. So if you have a hunch that you like Jalen McMillan, roll it. I like Jalen McMillan as a player, just the volume wasn't there. I do expect a shootout. So that's why I'm going to kind of lean on a hunch that maybe the shootout narrative does come to full circle and we can go ahead and get a big day out of him. Now, the issue will be whether or not he gets the volume. So if you want to go volume based, it's going to be Jaden Reed. I think the upside, though, play is Jalen McMillan. You are welcome, Clint. We got Fantasy Guru on X, Monty Pollard, Singletary, full PPR, pick 1. I'm going to go Monty there. All these surprise injuries just making me change all my rankings. Busy morning, week 2. Here we are. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. And I see you on the tweet machine. I believe Sam Wise. The name sounds familiar. Another yards per logo. Got my great start over there as well. Loved yards per. Sam, you sound familiar, so I'm sure we've definitely interacted on the machine. I just am all over the place now, just trying to figure out why all these players are getting hurt and changing everything I got to do here in the last 2 minutes of my Sunday morning. Let's see here. What else we got here? Would you play Justice Hill with Lamar or Charbonnet? Anthony, I'd go Sharps there. It's close. I think Justice Hill actually could have some value today. Because I don't think they're just going to pound it with Henry. I do think that Henry has a good game this week, but I do think Justice Hill will be involved as well. Let's see here. Let's see if we got any other questions on X. I'm surprised I'm not getting a little bit more here with all of our surprise inactives. Either that or people haven't noticed, just like me, that Evan Ingram's hurt. We got Mark on X, James Conner, Xavier Worthy. I am going Conner there for sure. Just going to go with the volume. Chase volume. I'm not looking at 3 targets, 2 touchdowns as a consistent thing going forward. We got Rashid Shaheed, Javonte Williams, or Chase Brown. I'll go Shaheed here. It's really close between him and Javonte, but I lean to Shaheed. Traeger, who do I sit? Montgomery, Neighbors, or Lockett? I'd go Lockett. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. We got Jared Goff or Dak Prescott. I'm going to go Dak, although it's really close for me. I do still go with Dak just over. Deontay H, Rashad White, or Charbonnet. That's going to be White. Now with Brown out, should I play Cooks or Shaheed? Kelsey, I would. It's a coin flip. Which one do you think scores the touchdown? I'm going to go Brandon Cooks, and here's why. No Jake Ferguson. Kind of opens up a little bit more volume potentially for Brandon Cooks. I also trust Dak a little bit more than Derek Carr, so I'm going to go with Brandon Cooks there. Also, no Lattimore for the Saints, so Brandon Cooks. I'm talking myself even more into Brandon Cooks, so I'll go Cooks there, Kelsey. London or Neighbors for Deontay H. I'm going to go Neighbors. Title pursuit, Worthy or McLaurin. If you want that title, you're going to start Terry McLaurin today. See, great minds are alike here, Kelsey. I agree. Fun fact: Rashid Shaheed had like the same game he had last year in Week 1. So we saw how that worked out. So likely to have some regression coming from Shaheed. May start this week. Book of Eli, Kyler, or Jaden. I'll go Kyler. There, we've got Jerry Hall, Gus Edwards, or Eckler. Go Gus Edwards there. It's close, though. Who do I bench? Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, or J.K. Dobbins? Jeez Louise, that's a tough choice, David. I see why you're here. Oof. Man. I know I'm going to pick the wrong one. I can tell already. I really like JK against Carolina. The issue with JK is it is low volume. I don't expect them to give him 20 touches. It's probably gonna be 10 or 11. So he's gonna probably have to be viable, like super efficient again, which I don't think he can't do. Man, I still like Devontae a lot. DJ Moore, especially if they're gonna miss Keenan Allen or Odunze or both. Could be in for a big day against Houston. They're going to have to throw, so I really probably want to play DJ. Oh, man. I'm going to go... Man. Maybe DJ Moore. The only reason is like not trusting Caleb as much as but I mean, it's Gardner Minshew. It is. Go with Devontae Adams. Do it. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm committing. Devontae Adams. Bowers is getting more involved. It's Gardner Minshew. They have a decent pass rush. Secondary's man, but like, I don't know if they're gonna have to throw, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to. So I'll start DJ Moore and J.K. Dobbins. All right, I said it. I'm done. I may be wrong, David. I'm sorry, but that's a tough one, and I see why you're here. Easier one, Nathan. Amari or Stevenson half PPR. I'm gonna go Amari Cooper here. Yeah. Swift or Singletary would be Swift for me as well, Nathan. Although the Washington matchup a little bit easier for Singletary this week, I'm still going to go DeAndre Swift. Tim, Gibbs, Taylor, Kyron, Jordan, Mason. Oh, geez. What is with these people with these stacked running back rooms? This is what happens when everybody tries to go zero running back. You get these teams that are just loaded at running back. Tim, you have one of them. Yeah. So my 3 highest ranked would be Taylor, Mason, Gibbs. That's probably who I'm going to start. But Kyron and Gibbs are interchangeable. But Taylor and Mason would be must starts for me. I think that Indy's going to handle that game pretty well, and we're going to see a lot of Jonathan Taylor in the second half. Jordan Mason, we already saw what he can do, and he's going to have the same workload again this week. And then Gibbs should be involved in what should be a shootout in that game, but I also see Arizona, LA being pretty good. Now, the issue with LA is they are missing some offensive linemen, so that's probably where I'm going to dip Kyron a touch compared to Gibbs. Nathan, last one. You can ask as many as you want. I'm got a couple more minutes here. Richardson or Daniels? I'd go Richardson. Yeah, I think that there's a little bit more likely rushing upside there for Richardson. They both have a ton, but I'm going to go with Richardson. Easier, Devin Singletary or Deontay Johnson? No, it's not easier, David. It's not. Gosh. And it's not easier because Bryce Young is just failing us right now as fantasy managers. I want to say DJ, but Singletary against Washington, it's a pretty juicy matchup. Just depends on how that game goes for the Giants. So maybe I'll go Singletary. I think they can move the ball a little bit better this week. And I still just can't trust Bryce Young to complete a pass, to be honest. So I'll go Devin Singletary. Oh, you're adding McConkey to the fold, David. Is this the same question? If it is, it's McConkey. All the way. Welcome, Tim. Hopefully it works out. Don't thank me until tomorrow. Or what? I think all those games are 1:00 games. So you can come back at 4. Let me know. Well, then you can thank me or you can yell at me. Your choice. Charbonnet or Jones at flex for Michael. Spooky season. See that pumpkin, Michael. Which Jones? Or is that a dumb question? I don't even think about that. I'm guessing it's Aaron Jones. So there are Joneses out there in the world, right? Yeah, I think it's Aaron Jones. I'm going to go Aaron Jones for you, Michael. You're good. I don't think there's as many Joneses as I thought, to be honest, when I scrolled through there, Michael. So, but Aaron Jones is still my pick. Tim, what about Baker or Dak? They're back to back for me. Flip a coin, heads tails. I'm going Dak personally. I think that that's still a good game against New Orleans, but I think that they're going to get CD involved a little bit more. The issue, I think Baker has the higher upside. Let's put it that way. If all goes as planned in Detroit, Tampa Bay, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Baker's probably going to have a couple tutties. Dak likely has that, but if they get up again like they did last week, we could see Dak have not a huge performance. So Dak seems safe. Baker, high upside if you really want to shoot that. Also feels safe. But again, like I said, I mean, you're splitting hairs. Where I'm ranked is 10 and 11, so Can't really go wrong, Tim, in my opinion. Yeah, unless Devontae puts up 40. Yeah, I agree, David. I'll be pissed too because I'm probably going to bench Devontae somewhere in one of my dynasty leagues that I have a plethora of wide receivers, and that'll be the week that he goes for 40. So it's just fantasy football for us, right? Let's take a peek at the Twitter machine. Travis Ingram is ruled out. Yeah, I know. Surprise, Travis. I'm surprised too. Would I pick up and start Likely or Parkinson's? I'd go Likely, 100%. I like both, but I mean, Likely just put up 26 points. I don't know how he's still available in your league, but definitely Isaiah Likely. We've got Aaron Jones or Pickens better today. I'm going to go Aaron Jones there. I know it's a tough matchup against San Fran, but he also is going to get all the check down bull crap that Sam Darnold's going to throw him. So I'm going to go there. And despite Justin Fields liking to lock into one receiver, George Pickens against Patrick Surtain, I'm going to take Patrick Surtain for the win on that side of that. Let's see here. Christian Watson or Demarcus Robinson. I'll go Robinson. Again, I'm just full void here on the Packers receivers with Malik Willis, and I could be wrong. I've been wrong, surprisingly. No, totally been wrong many a times. But yeah, I just Malik Willis until I see it in an actual NFL game ain't happening for me. So I'm gonna hold off on that. I'll go with Demarcus Robinson, better quarterback. I know there's some offensive line issues there, but yeah, Demarcus Robinson for me in that situation. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Alrighty, well, we are hitting that 12:30 sign off spot. So before we do that, I mentioned it earlier. If you're still listening, you like FTN. Maybe I'm hoping you do because that's where I work. So FTN swag, wearing that, pretty cool. Head over there. I think the swag shop is up and running. If it is not, I apologize, but it's coming soon. Definitely head on over there. Some really good stuff. It's a really comfortable shirt. Some cool hoodies. The hoodies are super comfortable. I got one of those as well upstairs. So definitely head out, check that out. That's going to be either up or up soon as well. If you have any questions between now and 1, I will be on dabbling in the X space So if you do have to, go ahead, toss something in there. If I can get to it, I will. If I don't, I do apologize. Um, if not, I will be back next week. And James, I'm going to get you before we leave. Don't leave me just yet. Play Xavier Worthy, James. It's close, but play Xavier Worthy. Shoot the upside. But again, check out ftnfantasy.com if you have not yet or are not already currently a member. It's a great platform. Costs some money, but head on over there, check it out. Subscribe to it. You can get all of our great premium content, all of our rankings, all of my dynasty rankings. If you are a dynasty football player, you can also go ahead and you'll get draft guides. You get DVOA information. There's tons and tons of information. It's definitely worth it. And if you're a stats person, tons and tons of stats, great stat stuff that I can't really get into here too much on the Start Sit show just because of the questions, but you can get lost in it or follow me on X at PopesFFH. I post some stuff up there as well for that stuff. And until next week, good luck to everybody. Hopefully we made the right calls. We get some wins because plenty of my teams need them. And remember, if we don't, still only week 2. We've got plenty of time, more than not. And most of my teams that won championships last year were, 5-6 seeds. You don't have to win the regular season to win the entirety of your fantasy league. So don't panic just yet. Don't overreact. Enjoy. Lock those lineups and don't look at that phone. Once that lineup's locked, you don't gotta stare at it. The more you stare at it, the more likely you're not going to get the points. I'm telling you. It's my belief. Just don't look at it. Just shut it down, close it. Enjoy 7 hours of commercial-free football with some red zone or whatever you choose to watch the NFL on today. Enjoy it. Have a good week. And I'll be back next Sunday to answer all of your questions yet again. Take care.